Otero. Why are you running for Congress? You're running against one of the most liberal candidates, or one of the most liberal politicians in Washington, in Kathy Castor. Can you tell us why you're running?
Well, absolutely. I've served my country for 28 years. I have sweat blood and tears for my country in the battlefield, and did 28 years of developing plans for this country and defending this country. And what I have seen towards the end is that the president and the leadership in Congress have actually abdicated the responsibility to protect this country, either economically or in defense. And you need both for this country to remain at the top globally. And it isn't. So what is happening is that you have the president, with the help of Kathy Castor in Tampa, and with Harry Reid and Nancy Pelosi, trying to make a decision of which one they're going to support better. At the same time, what is happening is that he's resorting to having to apologize to the rest of the world for things that we shouldn't be apologizing for. Actually, we are one of the most charitable countries in the world. So when I see that, when I see the wonderful history that we have, that I have fought so hard, and then I see what the president is doing to destroy this country, I had no choice and no recourse but to offer my services once again for my country and put my personal life on hold.
Now, with your vast military experience, you've seen firsthand when dealing with other countries, specifically Colombia and South America as a whole, how it can benefit our country. How do you think? What is your take on the president's lack of effort in dealing with Colombia with the new free trade agreement, which he recently signed off on, but hedged for several years in doing so?
Well, it's irresponsible to start with, and lastly, is irresponsible at best. I have experience with doing agreements with all over the world. We have done agreements with Malaysia, with Thailand, with Jordan, with Poland, with France, with Brazil, with Colombia. My experience with Latin America, it is the closest partners that we have. They are right there. They're waiting for us. They also have the 5 fastest growing economies in the world. They're sitting right there with trillions of dollars, like Brazil, Peru, Argentina, Chile, Colombia, Panama. Colombia is one of our foremost allies. They don't blink, they do not hesitate. They're our friends unconditionally. And Obama continually, he's just determined to ignore them. He goes to Brazil and tells the Brazilians, we're gonna be your #1 client. I don't wanna be Brazil's #1 client. I want us to be Brazil's #1 client. The same thing with Argentina and Chile. We have a free trade agreement with Colombia that needs to be exploited and is ready. The Colombians are willing to do that. The Panamanians are willing to do that. But what the president is doing with the help of the leadership of his Congress is going to places that don't have any money, and it's actually sucking our money away, whether it's Europe, Greece, or whether it is China, from which we're borrowing money. It is irresponsible.
You mentioned Brazil. You're referring to Petrobras, the deal he had with Petrobras, where he wants the U.S. to become the #1 client to Brazil instead of drilling off our shores or drilling in Anwar. Is that what you're referring to as far as energy independence?
Absolutely, absolutely. It is a responsibility for the United States to be energy independent. If we're going to be a global leader like we were in the past with energy, we need to start looking at the capabilities of drilling within the United States, safely, cleanly, with American technology, not a foreign technology like the Chinese, which is so unreliable. It is cleanly, it's safe, and it is proven technology. So that is an automatic thing for us to do. I mean, the Brazilians are doing it, and good for them. I mean, they're wonderful, and I appreciate their efforts. But we need to take care of ourselves. Energy is part of national security. It is imperative that we commit to energy independence in order to be nationally secure.
Speaking of national security, what is your take on the border issue? The illegal immigration issue has got a lot of heat lately. A lot of people believe that the sovereignty of the United States is at risk with the southern border and in some instances the northern border.
Well, you know, the immigration issue, it's been going on for years. Right now it has the face of the border with Mexico. In the 70s and early 80s, it used to be the Vietnamese problem. We're starting to see glimpses of an African problem. The way to resolve this issue is not putting a Band-Aid over the border issue. We need to secure that border, absolutely. We need to be committed to an immigration reform, a solid, secure immigration reform. But we also have to approach it worldwide. We got to look at the borders worldwide, which include American embassies where they issue visas in the consular offices. And nobody's addressing that. Nobody's looking at it because they don't have the experience. Definitely in Tampa and the congressional the Democratic leadership, they don't have an idea of how that works. I do. I have worked at embassies. I have seen it. I have operated in it, and I know where do we need to go to make it work.
Any thoughts on the failed Fast and Furious program that was looked over by Attorney General Holder? Do you think he should resign?
Absolutely, it's shameful. In the military, we have a saying that if you drop a bullet, or if you lose a weapon, if you drop a bullet in an exercise, the whole exercise stops, and every man and woman, thousands of them, will go and retrieve that bullet. And the same thing goes with a weapon. When a weapon is lost in the battlefield, everything is done to retrieve it properly. It is irresponsible that Attorney General Holder has given weapons away without tracking devices, without any way of recovering it for the sake of a panacea, for the sake of a totally irresponsible administrative criminal effort by Attorney General Holder. He needs to resign today.